Have you ever wondered why some people seem to learn new things effortlessly while others struggle? It's not magic. It's about active engagement. Active engagement in learning is like being the driver of your own educational journey rather than just being a passenger. It's about immersing yourself fully in the learning process, asking questions, seeking answers, and challenging your understanding. Imagine you're learning about the solar system instead of just reading about the planets and their orbits. You might create a model, research recent space missions, or even write a short story set on Mars. You're not just passively consuming information, you're actively engaging with it, making it your own. Consider the story of Albert Einstein. Now, there's a name we all recognize. But did you know that Einstein wasn't particularly successful in traditional education? In fact, he struggled with rote memorization and rigid teaching methods. What set Einstein apart was his active engagement with the world around him. He asked big questions, pursued answers with tenacity, and wasn't afraid to challenge established ideas. Active engagement is a powerful tool in learning, and it's one that every one of us can wield. When we actively engage with our learning, we're not just memorizing facts to regurgitate on a test. We're building a deep, nuanced understanding of the subject. We're making connections between ideas, applying our knowledge in new contexts, and fostering our critical thinking skills. This method of learning is empowering. It puts you in the driver's seat, giving you control over your educational journey. It allows you to learn at your own pace, in your own style, and in a way that makes sense to you. And when you're actively engaged, learning becomes not just a task, but a joy. So, the first step on your journey to becoming a master learner is to get involved actively in your learning process. This is the essence of effective learning, and it's within your reach. All it takes is curiosity, a willingness to ask questions, and the courage to seek your own answers. So, are you ready to take the wheel and drive your learning journey? Let's get started. Now let's talk about a secret weapon in the world of learning, spaced repetition. It's a technique that combines time and memory in a dance that is as elegant as it is effective. Imagine a garden. In this garden, each plant represents a piece of information or a concept that you're trying to learn. At first, these plants are tiny, fragile seedlings. They need constant care and attention. This is like when you first encounter new information. You need to pay attention to it, to engage with it actively. But what happens if you water these plants just once and then forget about them? They wither, they die. The same happens with your newly learned information. If you don't revisit it, your brain deems it unimportant and discards it. This is where spaced repetition comes in. Spaced repetition is the act of revisiting and reviewing information at increasing intervals over time. It's like returning to your garden to water those plants, helping them grow stronger and more resilient. As you revisit the information, your brain reinforces the neural pathways associated with it, strengthening your memory. Now, imagine this: you're studying for a big test. Instead of cramming all the material in one night, you spread your study sessions over several days, revisiting each topic at spaced intervals. This is the magic of spaced repetition. It allows your brain to process and store information more efficiently, leading to better recall and understanding. Moreover, spaced repetition isn't just about rote memorization. It helps you to truly understand and apply concepts, making connections between different pieces of information. It's like seeing the garden in full bloom, each plant supporting and enriching the others. And the best part, you can apply spaced repetition to virtually any type of learning, whether you're learning a new language, mastering a musical instrument, or studying for an exam. Spaced repetition can significantly boost your learning efficiency. Spaced repetition, then, is your next stepping stone on the path to effective learning. Like a gardener tending to their plants, nurture your knowledge with care and patience, and remember, the most beautiful gardens don't bloom overnight. They require time, attention, and most importantly, repetition. Ever heard of interleave practice? No? Well, it's about time you did. Interleave practice in its simplest form is all about variety. It's the act of switching between different types of tasks or subject matters instead of focusing on one type exclusively. It's like going to the gym and working on various muscle groups rather than just focusing on your biceps. You might be thinking, isn't that distracting? Wouldn't it be more efficient to focus on one thing at a time? While it's a valid concern, the answer is surprisingly no. Interleaved practice is not about multitasking or being scattered. It's about engaging your brain in diverse ways that enhance flexibility and adaptability. It's about challenging your brain to switch gears, to think differently, to adapt, and apply knowledge across different contexts. Let's take, for example, a student learning to play the piano. Instead of spending an entire practice session on a single piece, they might switch between different pieces, scales, and exercises. This forces the brain to constantly adapt and adjust, enhancing the ability to recall and apply the different techniques when needed. Studies have shown that interleave practice can significantly improve learning outcomes. It's not always easy. In fact, it can feel harder than traditional practice. But just like lifting weights at the gym, that extra effort is what leads to real growth. By mixing up your learning, you're not only enhancing your recall, but also your ability to apply knowledge in different situations. It's about building a robust and versatile understanding, not just a narrow and rigid one. Interleave practice can be applied to virtually any learning scenario, from studying for exams to learning a new language or picking up a new hobby. It's all about breaking out of the monotony, challenging your brain, and making learning a dynamic and engaging process. Interleaved practice, as you can see, is another key component of your learning toolkit. Just remember, it's not always about doing the easy thing, but rather about doing the effective thing. So, why not give it a try? Let's not forget about feedback, the GPS of your learning journey. Feedback, when constructive, is like a mirror reflecting our strengths and areas for improvement. It's an essential part of effective learning, yet often overlooked. But why is feedback so valuable? Well, it helps us to identify gaps in our understanding, adjust our learning strategies, and ultimately improve. Imagine you're learning to play a musical instrument, say the guitar. You've been practicing diligently, but something just doesn't sound right. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it's off. This is where feedback comes in. A teacher, a friend, or even a helpful online community can listen to your performance and provide constructive feedback. They might point out that you're strumming too hard, or your fingers aren't in the right position. Armed with this feedback, you can adjust your technique and improve your performance. But how do we seek feedback? It's all about being open and proactive. Don't wait for feedback to come to you. Seek it out. Ask your teacher for comments on your essay, request a colleague to review your presentation, or even use self-assessment tools to evaluate your understanding. Importantly, feedback isn't just about identifying what you're doing wrong. It's also about recognizing what you're doing right. It reinforces successful strategies and boosts your confidence, making the learning process enjoyable and rewarding. However, feedback is just the start. The real magic happens when we use it to grow and develop. It's like a compass pointing us in the right direction, but we still need to make the journey. Take the feedback on board, make a plan, and put it into action. Remember, feedback is not about criticism, it's about growth. So, don't shy away from feedback. Embrace it. Whether it's a pat on the back for a job well done, or a suggestion for improvement, every piece of feedback is a step forward on your learning journey. So, embrace feedback. It's your compass in the world of learning. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, let's talk about passion. Passion is the spark that can ignite the fire of learning. It's the driving force that can turn a daunting task into an exciting adventure, and it's the secret ingredient that can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Picture this. Two people are learning the same subject. One is doing it because they have to, while the other is doing it because they want to. Who do you think will find the process more enjoyable and rewarding? Who do you think will be more motivated to overcome obstacles and achieve their goals? Of course, it's the one who is fueled by passion. Passion is not just about liking what you do. It's about loving it. It's about being so immersed in a subject or a task that you lose track of time. It's about waking up in the morning, excited about what the day has in store. It's about constantly seeking opportunities to learn, grow, and improve. And it's about celebrating every milestone, no matter how small. Passion can make the difference between just getting by and truly excelling. It can turn a monotonous task into a thrilling challenge. It can transform a complex problem into a fascinating puzzle. And it can convert a tedious chore into a labor of love. Let's take Albert Einstein, for example. His passion for physics was not born out of a desire for fame or fortune. Rather, it was ignited by his insatiable curiosity and his relentless quest for understanding. It was this passion that drove him to challenge existing theories, push boundaries, and ultimately revolutionize the world of science. And you don't have to be an Einstein to harness the power of passion. All you need is an open mind, a curious heart, and the courage to pursue what lights your fire. Whether it's painting, coding, writing, or exploring the mysteries of the universe, let your passion guide your learning journey. Passion, then, is the fuel that drives the engine of effective learning. So there you have it. The ultimate guide to effective learning. We've journeyed through the realms of active engagement, spaced repetition, interleaved practice, feedback, and passion. Each of these elements plays a pivotal role in transforming you into a master of learning. Active engagement is your key to ownership and deeper understanding. It's about being an active participant, not a passive observer in your learning journey. It's about asking questions, seeking answers, and challenging yourself. Embrace this proactive approach and watch your learning transform. Then we have spaced repetition, your secret weapon against the forgetfulness curve. By spreading your study sessions over time, you allow your brain to process information more efficiently and commit it to long-term memory. No more cramming, no more forgetting. Your future self will indeed thank you. Interleave practice, the art of juggling different topics, tasks, and skills, enhances your ability to recall and apply knowledge across different contexts. It's a bit like a mental workout, keeping your brain flexible and agile. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's a proven strategy for effective learning. Next, we talked about feedback. Constructive feedback is your personal GPS on this learning journey. It helps you identify areas of improvement and guides you towards your learning goals. Embrace it, seek it, and use it to fuel your growth and development. And finally, passion, the fuel that ignites your curiosity and drives your enthusiasm. When you're passionate about what you're learning, you open up a world of possibilities. Pursue your interests with zeal, and the sky's the limit. Remember, learning is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about immersing yourself in the process, staying curious, and never ceasing to grow. So, go forth and apply these strategies in your own learning journey. Unleash your potential and become the master of learning you're destined to be. Remember, learning is not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining bright. See you soon.